back to the well, if we might, and be able to bring to you something that we presented back in October. And it was a huge success. In fact, our today's special value back in October sold out early in the day. In September, Apple came out with a new iPad. This is it. This is their latest, their greatest. It's a bigger version. The older version was 9.7 inches. This one is 10.2. And we've already had 2,700 people who have picked it up since we made it available again as a returning today's special value. This is the first iPad that Apple really promoted as a replacement, if you will, or an equal to a laptop computer. And it's really interesting how many elementary age students, middle school students, high school students, and now even college students are carrying the iPad with them everywhere they go, as opposed to carrying the textbook, the computer, the this, the that. It's an amazing piece of equipment. I get to introduce you to Craig Smith. He is our resident Apple expert. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. By
Welcome
the way,
back.
To piggyback on a comment you just made about the iPad.
Sure.
I mean, if you think back 10 years ago, the first iPad came out in April of 2010. Go back to 2010. There was this big concern in a lot of schools of the kids having the backpacks that were so darn heavy and so darn loaded with books and how it was causing problems. We don't have those conversations anymore.
Yeah.
My kids, one in elementary, one in junior high, they do so much directly onto the iPad. So those days of having the oversized backpack with all of those books.
With a library.
It's going away. This is changing the way we live in so many different facets of our life.
It's our go-to piece of equipment. And the fact that it has only been around for 10 years seems amazing, because for so many of us, it has become just an integrated part of what we do every day. This is how we source our information, by getting on the internet. This is how we communicate with our loved ones who live long distances away, with everything from FaceTime to Skype. This is how we get our entertainment, because now we're watching our Netflix and our Hulu and this is now our TV.
This is our everything. This is our TV.
You know
this is our camera. This is our device for this, that, and everything.
This is the Jetsons and Star Trek and the Next Generation, all plugged into one piece of equipment.
No flying cars involved.
Not yet.
Or whatever that thing that George was zipping around in. That doesn't exist yet. No.
Well, our folks at home do have to make a choice.
Yes, they do.
But here's the cool thing about Apple. Unlike everybody else in the world that manufactures virtually anything, they don't do a good, better, best in their product category. They just do
awesome,
best.
Awesome, and another slice of awesome.
These are all aluminum chassis. It's not plastic. They're built to last, and they're built to give you great productivity as well as enjoyment. There is a choice to be made. This is the silver. This is the gold. And it does have kind of a rose gold tint to it. Is that fair?
100%. Apple does call it gold, though, but it definitely has more of that rosy color.
And then I like this. That's the space gray. So that's your first choice. The second choice that you'll make is the storage capability of either 32 gigs, or you could triple it and jump up to 128. But you can't add storage to an iPad after the fact.
No, you can't walk this into the Apple store and say, hey, can you change this into... No, that doesn't happen.
And once you make that decision, I'm going to recommend, I think you would agree, you're the expert, so if I'm wrong, please correct me. But it makes sense if you can afford to spend a little bit extra for 3 times the storage to get it.
It's like walking into your kitchen and saying, do you want to have these extra little rows of cabinets here, or do you not want them? That's what we're talking about. How are we going to store our stuff? Overwhelmingly, people want to have more storage, not less. That's why the 128 is vastly more popular.
It's like getting an extra 2 or 3 bays in the garage.
That's a better analogy for you.
All right.
Absolutely.
When you buy an iPad elsewhere, you get a really pretty box, you get the iPad, and you get your charger. And that's all you get. Now, that's a great start, but we wanted you to have more. We wanted you to have the full experience of what an iPad can do for you. So one of the most important accessories that we could ever add is this wireless Bluetooth keyboard that also comes with a hard shell case. We then also give you a stand, and you would think that earbuds are standard equipment. They're not.
No, they do not come with it.
So we've added earbuds to it. So you'll make a color choice on the color of the case so that you can get exactly what you want. And our cases are, you ready?
That's your rose.
This is our gold marble. This one I had never seen before.
It's brand new. First time we've had that on, that oil design there. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I like that. And it's actually referred to as
black oil, we're
black
calling
oil.
it. Yes.
And again, when you open this up, it's a magnetic clasp, and then your keyboard is on the inside. And that also works as an easel so that you've got something that you can use hands-free. Then we've got navy blue, and then this is called sage. But I like what you said. It's really kind of a pistachio.
I'll go with that.
All right.
That sounds good to me, right?
So those are the choices that you're going to make. But here's the best part. You're getting it at a really, truly wonderful price tag when you consider everything that you're getting. If sold separately, for the 32 gig would be $830 and change. We're asking you to spend $454.98. 128 gigabytes. That's, again, 3 times your storage. That's $928 normally. We're at $554.98. Now, we have Easy Pay for you, which is always good, and that's 6 Easy Pay payments on any of the credit cards that we accept. But I have a special financing program available for this as well on our Q card. And that means that you don't have to worry about it for 12 months. That's 12 months interest-free if paid off in that year.
Nice.
Square Trade. Get into that real quickly too, because I want to make sure that this is a long-term investment for you folks, and it's something that you're going to have for a long time. Well, we have a special 3-year Square Trade protection program that covers you on virtually everything.
Yeah, drops and spills I know is a big one. In fact, one host here at QVC, I won't say her name out loud, Christine Zell, she shared the story on the air several times.
Okay.
She had her son give an iPad a bath because the little guy thought it had to get cleaned up.
By the way, they do not float.
No, they do not float, and they are not water resistant either. So yes,
I was pretty sure you were going to talk about me.
No. But we've all done that.
I'll tell you
Square
what,
Trade helps you out in those situations.
I bought an iPad, and this has been 6, maybe even 7 years ago. Took it out of the package, played with it, had it for a couple days, had it on the kitchen counter, hit it with my own elbow, knocked it off, and broke the screen.
Yep,
It's like,
that's unfortunate.
You big dummy.
That has happened.
So I really urge you to consider taking advantage of that.
That Square Trade is great protection. Considering everything that goes into this iPad, the dual cameras. This is amazing, Dan. This camera shoots 1080p high definition video. You use your fingerprint now to log on. And the things we do here at QVC that I just love, including things like that Bluetooth keyboard. We also have the Apple Pencil available. That's an additional purchase. It does work with this generation of the iPad.
Nice.
Not necessarily with the earlier ones. All you gotta do is choose your favorite color of iPad, choose your favorite color of this beautiful Bluetooth keyboard case. And I love the Bluetooth keyboard case because the productivity, the things that you're gonna be able to get done, use it like a laptop. This is so easy to take from room to room or from place to place when you're on the go, unlike those big laptops. I love a laptop experience, I love a desktop experience, but that very much puts you in a desk-type situation.
You're anchored.
You don't have that freedom to move around.
Yep.
The iPad, sit it on your breakfast bar, put it on your dining room table, bring it out to the deck when the weather's nice, take it out to the garage because you're working on a project and you're watching a YouTube video to show you how to do it. This is the device that just goes where you need it to go and has the great specs built inside.
It is a bigger screen.
Yes, it is.
That's the 10.2 inch instead of the 9.7 that was available earlier. And it doesn't sound like it's a massive difference, but it is in terms of viewer experience.
Well, something like this. Let me give you a great example, Dan, all right? You want to multitask on this device? You can multitask on your phone, but you're looking at a small screen, right? Give me a great example here. Let's say you're on your calendar. You want to check something on the web, or you want to check your email. With this new operating system, you now have the capability to do something that's called split screen.
Yeah,
and with split
that's a
screen,
nice touch.
Yeah, with split screen, you have
Watch
one
this.
application to open, and you can actually take a second application, and you can move it around, and you could actually have 2 different things open at the same time. My web browser, my calendar, and you even get to customize it to how big you want to have each side of the screen. So,
which means I could have word processing on one side.
That's right.
And doing research on the other.
Yes. And you're
Perfect for homework assignment.
using both of those applications at the same time. Doesn't work for every app that's out there. You're not going to split the screen working on iMovie and photographs maybe at the same time, but so many of them you can. That's why so many people are saying, hey, you know what? Maybe my next device, I don't want the big bulky laptop. I want to have this with this bigger screen of 10.2 inches. You really can do it all on the iPad.
And again, Craig, this really was their latest release back in September.
That's right.
This really was the first iPad where even Apple was saying, you know what, this really could be a computer replacement.
For a lot of people, it is.
Yeah.
And you factor in what you do on your computer. For my mom, great example. My mom, several years ago, she thought about, hey, I want to get a new laptop. I said, Mom, you're answering emails, you're surfing the web.
Playing her bridge.
She's like, I love the idea. Mom loves to play bridge. She thinks she plays 9 days a week in a 7-day week. If she could find a way to do it, she would. But for a lot of those things, yes, this answers that call and more.
There's something about the Apple community that I will freely admit I had wrong. I had always thought that the Apple community was, the techno beavers and the high-tech people and the artsy people.
Well, those were the first adapters that gravitated to this brand.
Yeah, it turns out that Apple products are actually in many ways easier to use.
They are.
Than the PC world, because we are now all so familiar with that screen that Apple created on their iPhone that you manipulate with your fingers. And that's how you're going to deal with this.
Yep. And we actually got the question. I know it popped up during this today's special value. Somebody asking, hey, can I connect the mouse to the iPad?
Sure.
Well, there's no need to connect the mouse.
You could, but...
Yeah, I believe they make some of them available, but I don't think it's something necessarily that you need, because having to click and do all of that stuff and learning this of the computer world,
right?
This is your mouse. This is your stylus. This is everything right here.
Directly to the screen.
Using your fingers directly on the screen. Yep.
It's funny. Touch screen computers have become the biggest thing. Mm-hmm. The iPad was that before.
Yeah, the iPad's been that since 2010, since the first one came out.
Exactly.
Yep.
Who's that happy face?
That is Bailey. I was playing around with one of the programs we have here built in the iPad. It's called Pages. Allows you to create documents and flyers. And we left the house one day, and Bailey decided to track down a thing of my daughter's scissors. And these used to be scissor handles.
Oh.
Yeah, she thought that'd be a fun chew toy to chew. Thankfully, she chewed on that end of the scissors and not the other one. But this is anybody who's had a puppy, you occasionally come home and things have been chewed.
Have you ever heard the adage, the worse the puppy, the better the dog?
If that's true, I'm going to have an amazing dog.
Oh, your dog is going to be, yeah, it's true.
She's a great dog, but yes, that's part of puppies. You come home every now and again and they've done something you're not quite happy with.
Oh, like you haven't chewed furniture.
Not in a
we
while.
all have.
I've cut back on that substantially in the last couple of years, Dan.
There are so many apps that come with the new iPad. This is their latest and greatest release. I'm trying to add it up. This would be their 7th generation.
This is Gen 7. So yes, the brand new one, all these built-in apps, things like Maps, which give you 3D flyover tours. Siri is built in here as well. Again, it's not just the fun play, let's play a game, let's watch a video. It's productivity with your calendar. Your photo booth is a fun one to play around with. Things like this one right here, Pages. I just showcased that. That allows you to create full-scale documents, resumes, letters, all of that great stuff. iMovie's a fun one to play around with. Keynote allows you to create presentations. Overall, there's more than 24 apps that are already built in. And at QVC, we're going to give you more. We're going to give you the stand. We're going to give you the earbuds, plus some amazing software to go along with it.
Hello is a software program that helps you to learn different languages. There's 13, 14 different languages. You get a 2-year membership to that. Meal Easy is a meal planning program, which is super simple. Hotspot Shield
provides a virtual private network. So something a lot of businesses do on their own. You'll have that same type of VPN now anytime you surf the web.
You get 1 year of the Office Suite, which is a really nice, easy to get used to.
Yeah, creating more documents and spreadsheets, that type of thing.
Ribbit is it's photos, but you do like montages.
Yeah, create a lot of collages.
A lot of that you can do already with the software that's in the iPad. But then you also get Caribou, which is all access for 6 months.
Great thing designed around kids, for especially with their interacting with their grandparents or their parents. If the parent may not be home for a while, you can do things like play tic-tac-toe and color things like that. And you're both connected through the same exact application at the same time. Really cool stuff.
This device has changed everything. You and I are both old enough to remember camcorders.
Yeah, absolutely.
The camcorder is now a thing of the past because this weighs a fraction of what the camcorder did.
There's no videotape involved with this.
Right.
There's no extra
cartridge. There's nothing mechanical to break.
There's nothing to take apart. And this, by the way, Dan, shoots better video than any of those camcorders did back in the day.
And we're looking at the latest and greatest from Apple. So why get it now?